Something huge is happening across the United States, and it's not a new app or device. It's something far bigger, louder, and heavier. From Texas to Arizona to upstate New York, construction crews are digging trenches and assembling massive metal complexes. These aren't warehouses or office parks. They're AI factories, enormous, power-hungry data centers designed to train and run the artificial intelligence systems shaping the future of business, science, and everyday life. And the companies behind them, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, are locked in one of the fiercest races in modern tech, the race to control America's computing power. So what exactly is an AI factory? Unlike traditional data centers that store and serve information, AI factories create intelligence. They house thousands of GPUs and custom accelerators that process vast amounts of data to train large language models, self-driving algorithms, and generative tools. They're where AIs learn, crunching trillions of calculations to recognize patterns, make predictions, and even simulate reasoning. Each one costs billions to build, draws enough power to run a small city, and requires cooling systems strong enough to tame the heat of thousands of high-performance chips. So why is the US suddenly building them at breakneck speed? It all comes down to power and independence. For decades, America's tech supply chain was global. Chips from Taiwan, assembly in China, servers in Ireland. But the AI era flipped that model. Suddenly, compute became the new oil, the essential resource every nation needs to power innovation. When the Biden administration passed the CHIPS and Science Act, it sent a message. The future of AI must be built at home. That policy ignited a trillion-dollar race to establish America's AI industrial base. Think of it as a new digital manufacturing revolution, one where silicon, data, and energy replace steel and coal as the raw materials of progress. Now, every major tech firm is rushing to claim territory. Microsoft is building massive AI campuses in states like Georgia and Wisconsin. Amazon is expanding cloud zones in Virginia and Texas. Google is adding AI clusters across Iowa and Oregon. NVIDIA, partnering with utilities and developers, is constructing supercomputing plants across the Southwest. Even Apple is quietly building new high-efficiency compute centers to train its next wave of AI systems. Each site is more than a business project. It's a strategic asset, a way to ensure that the brainpower behind AI stays on American soil. But these AI factories are also reshaping the physical landscape. Small towns once known for warehouses or farmland are turning into AI corridors. Cities like Mesa, Arizona, and Columbus, Ohio, are becoming global tech hubs almost overnight. Local economies are booming, but so is the pressure on infrastructure, because these facilities demand enormous amounts of electricity and water. Data centers already consume about 4% of total US electricity, and analysts predict that number could triple within 5 years. Each large AI hub can use as much water annually as a city of 30,000 people, all to keep the machines cool enough to function. That means more strain on local grids, higher energy prices, and new environmental debates. The question is no longer can we build it, but can we sustain it? Then there's the economic ripple effect. AI factories have become the new gold rush for investors, utilities, and real estate developers. Wall Street, private equity firms, and even oil companies are now funding data infrastructure. The reason is simple. Whoever controls computing power controls intelligence itself. It's like the railroad boom of the 19th century. Whoever owned the tracks owned the economy. Now, those tracks are made of servers and fiber optic lines, and companies like Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Amazon are racing to lay them across the country. But just like railroads, this could lead to monopolies. With so much infrastructure concentrated in a few hands, access and pricing could become gatekept, turning computing into a private resource instead of a public utility. There's also a national security angle. The US isn't building AI factories in isolation. China, the EU, and other nations are doing the same. Washington sees domestic compute as essential for defense, innovation, and global influence. That's why the US government now treats advanced chips as strategic assets, restricting exports of GPUs to China and incentivizing onshore production. These AI factories are more than tech infrastructure. They're the new digital battlegrounds of global power. But as the US doubles down on domestic computing, new tensions are emerging. Tech-rich states like Texas and Virginia are attracting billions, while other regions risk being left behind. The massive energy demand is already forcing local utilities to rethink grids, build new substations, and in some cases, restart dormant power plants. And then there's the environmental question. Training a single large AI model can emit as much carbon as dozens of cars over their lifetimes. Multiply that by hundreds of training cycles, and the environmental footprint becomes staggering. The AI boom may be digital, but its resource drain is deeply physical. Yet despite the challenges, optimism runs high. Supporters argue that these AI factories will do for America what steel and automotive plants once did: create jobs, inspire innovation, and rebuild the country's industrial backbone. In many towns, they already are. Thousands of engineers, electricians, and contractors are finding new opportunities. Local colleges are launching AI training programs. Tax bases are growing. It's the next evolution of the American factory, one powered by algorithms instead of assembly lines. But there's still one question that hovers over this new age of construction. Are we democratizing technology or concentrating it in fewer, more powerful hands? Because make no mistake, the companies driving this boom, Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Amazon, aren't just building infrastructure. They're shaping the rules of the AI economy. The apps you use, the data you generate, the AI that powers your devices, all depend on the computing networks these giants control. If the internet was the foundation of the digital age, these AI factories will be the foundation of the intelligent age. But as history shows, the builders of the foundation often become the gatekeepers of the future. So as America races to construct its AI empire, the real question isn't whether it can, it's who will own the intelligence once it's built. In the last century, America's factories built the physical world. Now, it's building the thinking one. And when the dust settles, we'll have to decide whether these AI factories serve us, or whether we'll end up serving them.